Good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Lee and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. In our top stories this evening, Shawwal Madani sale begins today until Aidilfitri. PDRM to conduct Op Lancar and Op Selamat in conjunction with Aidilfitri. A clinic in Selayang is the first in the country to offer Rahmah Physiotherapy package for the underprivileged group. Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Datuk Sri Salahuddin Ayub said the physiotherapy session marked the first medical-related package under the Rahmah umbrella offered to the lower income groups.
Bagi golongan asnaf, lagi Rahmah. Mereka hanya mengenakan bayaran RM5 saja. Pakej Rahmah selalunya persepsinya kualiti, ya. Servis itu mungkin cincai-cincai saja. Tetapi setelah kita dapat melihat tadi bahawa bidang fisioterapi ini memerlukan kepakaran, persijilan. Esok lusa saya rasa banyak lagi segmen-segmen yang lain yang akan dapat datang untuk memenuhi keperluan rakyat dalam negara kita di bawah inisiatif Payung Rahmah.
He said this in a press conference after launching the clinic's physiotherapy session at Dataran Emerald in the nation's capital today. B Vital Group Syndrome Berhad Clinic is offering the physiotherapy package for the B40 group and Asnaf at RM20 and RM5 a session respectively. For those interested to book the Rahmah physiotherapy session, B Vital founder Dr. Ahmad Munawar Helmi Salim said they could book an appointment by calling the clinic ahead. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Salahuddin said the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, or KPDN, has assured a sufficient supply of essential items for the Aidilfitri celebration. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Salahuddin Ayub, said this followed engagement sessions held by the Ministry with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, including important agencies such as the Fisheries Department, Veterinary Department and suppliers. He said that there is enough supply of essential items for Hari Raya, and if there is a change, the ministry will give an advance notice or notification on any shortage of supply of goods. He stressed that there is definitely no need for panic buying.
Dan di antara yang kita cuba cadangkan adalah mereka boleh menikmati harga barangan asas kepada menu Rahmah itu. Seperti contohnya yang asas adalah beras, ayam, ikan dan sayur. Yang lain itu adalah yang menjadi nilai tambah kepada menu itu seperti bawang, barang-barang basah, ya, bawang, kemudian halia dan mungkin lada. Yang ini libat urus akan diadakan supaya hypermarket ini boleh juga memberikan tawaran Rahmah kepada semua peniaga-peniaga menu Rahmah.
He said this to reporters after conducting a price survey of goods in conjunction with the festive season maximum price scheme, or SHMMP, for Hari Raya Puasa 2023 at a supermarket in Kuala Lumpur today. Datuk Sri Salahuddin said the SHMMP Hari Raya Puasa 2023 takes effect from today until 30th of April, with 30 types of goods controlled under the scheme. They include 6 types of goods from the chicken and eggs category, which have been controlled under the maximum chicken and egg price determination. The Shawwal Madani sale, held in conjunction with Hari Raya Aidilfitri at 113 outlets across the country, offers a variety of daily necessities at a lower price compared to regular wet markets. Agriculture and Food Security Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Sabu said the sale is estimated to be cheaper by about 10 to 30%. He said the program is carried out by Federal Agricultural Marketing Authority, or FAMA, through the Farmers Market, Permanent Farmers Market, Rural Transformation Centre and Medan Niaga Satok, starting today until
Memang saya lihat dia murah jauh daripada pasar di luar sana. Bukan tujuan kita untuk bersaing dengan para peniaga di pasar, tetapi untuk memberi kemudahan khasnya kepada golongan B40 dan M40, golongan sederhana dan miskin untuk dapat membeli barang dengan harga yang lebih murah.
At the same time, Datuk Sri Mohamad also reminded entrepreneurs at pharma marketing outlets to comply with the festive season maximum price scheme issued by the government. Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives Minister Datuk Iwan Benedict believes that cooperative movement can play a vital role in the government's efforts to eradicate poverty in the country. Apart from offering goods at a lower price and training their members to engage in business, he said cooperatives could also generate returns in the form of dividends. Elaborating further on the matter, Datuk Iwan said he is confident that the cooperative movement is one of the many approaches which can help eradicate poverty and ease the burden of the vulnerable groups in the country.
Gerakan koperasi merupakan satu daripada banyak pendekatan yang boleh membantu menoktahkan kemiskinan. Kerana selain daripada ahli-ahli itu menikmati harga barangan yang lebih rendah, pada masa yang sama mereka boleh belajar untuk berniaga, untuk berkeusahawanan dan seterusnya boleh menikmati dividen misalnya daripada keuntungan yang dijana oleh koperasi mereka.
Now, the government has to approve an additional quota of subsidized cooking oil for operational purposes, as well as to ensure sufficient supply in the market. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living said it is also because some packaging companies are unable to use the allocated quota in full due to several situations. The ministry in a statement said the situations include the company is not operating, factory closure, machine damage or quota suspended due to suspected wrongdoing. It explained that quotas that are not used will be rationalized to be distributed to other operators to cover the shortfall. However, this additional quota does not cause expenses to exceed the stipulated limit. According to the ministry, the expenditure for cooking oil subsidy is between 88% and 99% of the total quota allocation of 60,000 metric tons per month. It said although at the production level, the quota reaches 60,000 metric tons per month, there may be a supply situation at the retail level that is insufficient for the people's use, among other things due to the confiscation of cooking oil based on cases of malpractices. Now, the shortage is evidenced by the increase in complaints from consumers that there is a shortage of packet cooking oil in the market. The Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, announced that 74,392 applications have been received for MBSB Bank's Ihsan I Account 2 Support Facility, or FSA2, as of yesterday. Now, Chief Executive Officer Datuk Sri Amir Hamza Azizan said of that number, 34,643 applications had been approved for a total sum of 722 million ringgit. Explaining further, Datuk Sri Amir Hamza said the EPF expects the number of applications to increase, particularly with the launch of Bank Simpanan Nasional's BSN My Ringgit Ihsan I. He said the EPF is pleased to have both MBSB Bank and BSN supporting the FSA2, which would help members with temporary liquidity issues to obtain cash flow through personal financing, but without causing serious impact to their retirement savings. He also said there has been confusion among some EPF members regarding the need for monthly repayments towards the personal loans, adding that the repayments are necessary to ensure that the loan is repaid on time. He clarified that the facility targets members who have savings in account 2 and have reasonable income to afford the personal financing and monthly repayments without compromising their retirement income adequacy and security. Now, EPF members can apply for the personal financing online through MBSB Bank or BSN. Coming up, Malaysia experiencing haze caused by hot weather and peat fires. The Royal Malaysia Police, or PDRM, will conduct an operation dubbed Op Lancar on the 18th and 19th of April to ensure smooth traffic flow ahead of the Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebration. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Akrosani Abdullah Sani said all PDRM machinery would be mobilised involving police personnel at all stations, mobile patrol vehicles, motorcycle patrol unit and beat patrol teams. Tan Sri Akrosani said the PDRM would also seek assistance from the Malaysian Volunteer Corps Department to conduct the operation. He also revealed that PDRM would also launch the 20th Op Selamat from 20th to 27th of April to ensure the comfort of the people celebrating Aidilfitri this year. The main focus of the operation is to ensure smooth traffic flow, minimise road accident cases, ensure the safety of property and residential premises, and reduce burglaries during the festive season. According to Tan Sri Akrosani, the Air Operations Force drone unit will also carry out aerial monitoring at hotspot locations that have been identified and channel the information to personnel in the field for action. He advised road users to keep abreast of the latest traffic information and use navigation applications to plan their journey to their respective hometowns. Our neighbourhood expects traffic volume to increase to more than 3 million vehicles on the Kuala Lumpur-Kara Expressway, or KLK, and the East Coast Expressway Phase 1, or LPT1, in conjunction with the Aidilfitri holiday. Now, his Senior General Manager, Razima Mohammad Razi, hopes that highway users will plan their journey during the festive and holiday season as traffic is expected to increase. Aneh Berhad, the concessionaire of the two expressways, will issue the travel time advisory at the Gombak, Karak and Bentong toll plazas tomorrow, besides posting it on the company's social site as a reference for highway users. Razima said Aneh Berhad is committed to increasing efforts to reduce congestion this festive season, including by increasing the number of support staff at the toll plazas by up to 30%. It is also placing more than 140 Malaysian Volunteer Corps Department members in several strategic areas along the highway, apart from increasing the number of LPT and traffic patrol team workers to ensure smooth traffic throughout the period. She also reminded motorists to ensure their e-wallet and touch-and-go card balances are sufficient to avoid any problems related to insufficient balances at the toll plazas. Now, the haze that is currently affecting the country is caused by peat fires and open burning, according to Natural Resources, Environment and Climate Change Minister Nik Nazmi Nik Ahmad. Peninsular Malaysia is currently experiencing hot weather, which, along with the resumption of economic activities post-COVID-19, contributed to the development of haze. The hot weather, Nik Nazmi said, had caused fires to occur in forested areas and owned properties. The haze is not happening only in Malaysia, but in countries in the ASEAN region.
Semua sangatlah. Tapi dia utara ni lebih, sebab memang utara dia punya panas terik dia lebih teruk. Saya tengok lebih ketara kat utara ni lah. Ada yang dah 37 darjah.
He said this after presenting aid to 50 ASNAF recipients in Kampung Parit Pasir Tumbuh in Kota Baru today. He added various government agencies were busy fighting peat fires in Kampung Beo, Beris Lalang sub-district in Bachok since the 27th of March. The fire initially affected a 5 hectares area, but has spread to around 20 to 50 hectares, Nik Nazmi said, adding that the area was still smoking and the fires have not been put out completely. Now, the operation of the first Emergency Medical Air Rescue Service, or EMARS, ambulance helicopter by the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department, JBPM, starting 1st of May, is expected to save the government 15 million ringgit a year. A local government development minister, Ngah Koh Ming, said the government previously spent about 20 million a year by using the services of private specialists in remote areas for rescue and medical work. He said the collaboration with the Ministry of Health MOH and the Department of Orang Asli Development JAKOA in realizing the EMAR service will have a high impact on the quality of existing services and even save national expenses by allocating only 5 million ringgit per year.
Kita akan sentiasa cuba untuk memperbaiki khidmat IMAS ini. Sekarang ini untuk mana-mana kes emergency mulai 1 hari bulan Mei, mana-mana kes termasuk organ transplant, kemalangan, kes kecemasan, boleh telefon 999 dan nombor tersebut kita akan sambung dan juga talian ini akan sambung daripada bomba terus kepada jabatan bersama dengan Kementerian Kesihatan.
He said this to reporters after launching EMARS and the 2023 Festive Season Safety Campaign at Aeon Shah Alam. Also present were Health Minister Dr. Zaleha Mustafa and JBPM Director General Dato Abdul Wahab Mat Yassin. Nga said that the air ambulance service aims to meet the needs of emergency services, especially in rural areas and Orang Asli villages, which are difficult to access by land. Individuals and production companies that fail to deliver any films from the grants provided by the Malaysian National Film Development Corporation, or FINAS, will be blacklisted from receiving any assistance in the future. Deputy Communications and Digital Minister Tioni Ching said 47 individuals and production companies were identified to have not delivered any films despite receiving the grants. Teo said all 47 of them have received a letter of demand, but only 3 of them have provided a response and reimbursed the fund. She added FINAS will proceed with legal action against those who do not respond within the given time.
Ataupun kita tubuhkan dana tersebut supaya kita boleh membantu industri filem. Dan kita nak nampak bahawa industri filem di Malaysia boleh terus berkembang, tetapi kami tidak boleh izin ada mana-mana pihak menyalahgunakan duit rakyat dana FINAS ini untuklah apa-apa kegunaan sendiri mereka.
Teo further noted that the ministry had asked FINAS to review the standard operating procedures regarding the provision of grants to applicants to prevent any misappropriation. She said the government will not abolish the fund, but FINAS will have to make improvements to the SOPs. Now, FINAS previously revealed that funds to produce films amounting to 20 million ringgit given to 47 production companies were allegedly misappropriated for personal gain. Up next in our foreign segment, Japan Prime Minister Kishida escapes explosion, unharmed after suspected attack. Now, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida resumed campaigning today after being evacuated unharmed from the scene of an apparent smoke bomb blast. The incident in western Japan's Wakayama came less than a year after the assassination of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, which traumatized the country and forced a security shake-up for public officials. Kishida was in the city to deliver remarks in support of a ruling party candidate at a local port when a disturbance rippled through the crowd gathered to hear him speak. Footage from national broadcaster NHK showed the Prime Minister turning to look backwards as a person was detained by security and people moved away, some shrieking. Seconds later, a blast was heard and white smoke filled the air. Footage and photos from the scene showed a silver pipe-like object on the ground, but it was not immediately clear whether it had caused the blast and smoke. Government officials said a man had been arrested on suspicion of obstruction of business. He has been identified as a 24-year-old man from the Hyogo region. There was also no immediate information on a potential motive. In Yemen, scores of prisoners of war, including Saudis, were freed today as part of a cross-border exchange between a Saudi-led military coalition and Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels. The International Committee of the Red Cross said the flights connecting Saudi Arabia and Houthi-led territory in Yemen were part of a multi-day transfer involving nearly 900 detainees that comes amid peace talks which have raised hopes for an end to Yemen's 8-year-old war. Meanwhile, Arab nations had called for a political settlement of the Syrian issue. According to a statement released today, following a meeting held in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, representatives from 9 Arab countries emphasized that political settlement is the only way for resolving the Syrian issue, and also the prerequisite for the peace and stability in Syria, for eliminating the negative effects of the Syrian crisis, and for ensuring Syria's return to the Arab family. The 9 countries are Egypt, Jordan, Iraq, and 6 member states of the Gulf Cooperation Council, namely Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Explosions rocked the Sudanese capital today as paramilitaries and the regular army traded attacks on each other's bases, days after the army warned the country was at a dangerous turning point. The eruption of violence came after weeks of deepening tensions between military leader Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and his number 2, paramilitary commander Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, over the planned integration of the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or the RSF, into the regular army. The RSF said its forces had taken control of Khartoum Airport after witnesses reported seeing truckloads of fighters entering the airport compound. Coming up in sport, JDT, Terengganu, KL City and Kelantan FC march into quarterfinals of the FA Cup. First up is badminton. After returning to the fold of BAM last month, K. Letshana is determined to show her real fangs at the Sudirman Cup tournament in Suzhou, China, which will open on the 14th of May. Letshana, who is currently ranked 76th in the world, is trying to step up the intensity of her training with national women's singles coach James Chua to address all her weaknesses. The winner of the 2023 Uganda International Challenge, however, is still looking for a compatible pace in the challenging training regime introduced by James upon her return to the national squad.
I'm happy to be part of Sudirman, and I hope I can give my best and won't let down the coaches or any other of my teammates. Because last time we woke up, I was still very junior, 17 years old, and I was just trying to give my best, and I think I give my best and I got a good feedback. So, but I feel very shocked to play at that time because I was so excited to play a big tournament at that age, and I just want to bring the same excitement to this tournament and don't want to put much expectations or pressures on me so that I can give my best and play like free-minded without any pressure.
Letshana left BAM last year following a back injury. She also has a big dream of being in the top 15 in the world at the end of this year, thus having the opportunity to participate in high-level tournaments. On a local football scene, 4 teams, Johor Darul Takzim JDT, Terengganu FC, Kelantan FC and Kuala Lumpur City FC, marched into the FA Cup quarterfinals after beating their respective opponents in the second round of the tournament last night. There were no surprises as JDT put down PDRM FC 3-0 at Sultan Ibrahim Stadium in Johor, scoring as early as the 3rd minute through striker Bergson da Silva. The other 2 goals were from penalties in the 12th minute by Bergson and Leandro Velasquez in the 27th minute. Terengganu FC, meanwhile, beat Melaka United FC 4-0 at Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium in Kuala Nerus. The Turtles scored as early as in the 5th minute through Croatian import Ivan Mahmud. It was only in the second half that they went another goal ahead thanks to substitute Hakimi Abdullah's strike in the 70th minute. Terengganu's 2 final goals were both scored by Jordan Minter in the 82nd minute and in injury time. The two teams will be joining Kuala Lumpur City FC in the quarterfinals after the City Boys overcame Immigration FC 2-0 at Kuala Lumpur Football Stadium in Cheras. KL City's T. Saravanan scored just before the halftime whistle in the 45th minute, while Romel Morales scored their win with a goal in the 83rd minute. The final team to qualify for the quarterfinals was Kelantan FC, defeating Manjung City FC 3-0 at Manjung City Council Stadium in Perak. Manchester United have been hit by a double defensive injury blow after Lisandro Martinez was ruled out for the rest of the season and Rafael Varane sidelined for the next few weeks. Now, both players were hurt in Thursday's 2-2 draw against Sevilla in the Europa League quarter-final first leg at Old Trafford, in which United conceded 2 late own goals. Martinez, who won the World Cup with Argentina in December, pulled up in pain, gripping his right ankle late in the match and was taken away on a stretcher. United had already lost fellow first-choice centre-back Varane to injury at halftime, and his replacement, Harry Maguire, scored an own goal in stoppage time. However, United said the Argentinian defender is expected to make a full recovery in time to be ready for the start of the next season. Martinez, in his first season at Old Trafford, and Varane have established themselves as Ten Hag's preferred centre-back pairing, and their absence leaves a void as United look to end the campaign on a high. Ten Hag's side entered the weekend 4th in the Premier League standings. Sunday's trip to relegation-threatened Nottingham Forest is followed by the second leg of United's Europa League quarter-final against Sevilla in Spain. In our final item, Carlo Ancelotti, the head coach of Real Madrid, has put an end to the speculation surrounding his future at the club. Now, in a recent press conference, he declared that he will be staying at Real Madrid next season, honouring his contract. Ancelotti's announcement comes amid rumours of his departure from the club to become the head coach of the Brazilian national football team.
El presidente siempre ha sido muy cariñoso conmigo, sigue siendo muy cariñoso y tenemos que mirar adelante. Yo creo que el club es muy tranquilo, como he dicho, me muestra mucho cariño y yo creo que estaremos aquí la próxima temporada sin duda, que vamos a respetar el contrato.
The news of Ancelotti's potential departure from Real Madrid had caused some concerns among the club supporters who have grown accustomed to his successful tenure. Under his leadership, Real Madrid has won several major titles, including the Champions League and the FIFA Club World Cup. However, with the rumours of his departure gaining momentum, many feared that the club might lose its momentum and struggle in the future. Ancelotti's announcement has therefore come as a relief to Real Madrid fans. And that concludes this edition of Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, Shawwal Madani sale at 113 outlets offer goods at low prices. We leave you with visuals of the launching of the world's first mutual fund to invest in vintage vehicles. And it will only bet on cars with a unique history worth more than €1 million each. I'm Jessica Lee. Stay tuned to Saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.